Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be doing my out-of-box review for the HG Iron-Blooded Orphans Ryusei-Go, otherwise known as the Graze Custom II. This being basically our fourth version of the HG Graze, you should really have a good idea what to expect, as most of the kit is the same, so that should mean that we should be able to keep this review relatively short. I'm not going to go over all the articulation. If you want to see the articulation of this kit in full, please check out my review of the original HG Graze, because I went over all the articulation at that time. Nothing has changed really except the backpack and the shoulders. I'll talk about that. The head will be the same as, in terms of articulation, will be the same as the Graze Custom I, so don't really need to talk too much about that, but I will give you a little bit of a look about that. And then of course, when I pose the kit, you'll be able to see, some of what it can do just based on the poses you can see there. So yeah, the Graze is now in this pink and dark red color scheme. We have a new head, new shoulders. The backpack is from the Graze Custom, so that's not very new. It's now in pink though. And we do have a new back skirt armor piece as well. The back skirt is totally new. So there are some new things, some cool stuff about this kit, and some interesting design features, especially the sticker, the eyes on the head. Again, if you saw the unboxing, that was just a sticker that you place on there, one on each side. Otherwise, the stickers are going to be the black triangles on the shoulders, the yellow stickers inside the torso on the front and back, same as all the other Graze kits. And that's pretty much it. There are some smaller gray ones on the shoulders as well, but ultimately not very sticker heavy. We do have the same Graze weapons as well as one new short rifle. I'll talk about the weapons and accessories here in a moment, but also just want to say a big thank you to MindFenix Hobby Store for sending me this kit to share with you guys. It's really cool. I really like, as I've said on many occasions, I really like the design of the Graze, so more versions of it is not a bad thing. I do think we are reaching the limit though on how many different versions of the Graze we can have. We do have one more that we know of coming out, at least one more. There could be more after that, but I think 5 versions of essentially like 80% the same kit is probably enough, but who knows? We'll see what we get. Anyway, this is a welcome addition to the group anyway, to the Grazes. So let's go ahead and take a closer look. Here we can see that sticker on the head. There's also a white sticker here on the top of the head. Again, as I said, black triangle stickers there, and then this gray part on the bottom of the shoulder armor, also a sticker. So the shoulder armor is new, but it's going to move essentially the same as other Graze shoulder armor, just up and down like that. So if you want to bring the arm up, you're going to have no problem bringing that up all the way to there before it's going to snap out of that joint. So you can bring that up nice and far to give some kind of fist pump action there. The backpack again is not very new, but just to give you a little bit refresher about that, this piece is going to move up and down like that. The back skirt is new and similar to the Hyakuren. It's very similar to the Hyakuren actually, but this back part is going to move. You can actually attach the Hyakuren's weapons on here, the Hyakuren's rifle or sword you could attach onto the back skirt here. So I don't have those actually on hand to demonstrate to you guys, but I think you can trust me about that. Otherwise, everything else is just a regular Graze. The head still does open up. And I had this complaint about the regular Graze, was that the head seemed very loose on here, so this one as well seems kind of loose on the joint for some reason. We do have a sticker there, yellow, and then yellow on the inside as well. So if you want to have this open up, of course, same as the other ones, we can just basically take off this armor piece and just reposition it like so to have that open up. It looks kind of cool because of the face, and now it looks like a big mouth on there. So that's kind of interesting, like some sort of crocodile mouth or something. Interesting look for the kit, but ultimately that's pretty much it. It has the same nice articulation here in the waist section, this sort of accordion movement there between the joint up inside the torso and then the ball joint down below. Knees are going to give you some nice part separation there when you bend that. Very nice far bend. The ankles are not going to move too much, but a little bit. The arms have a little bit more than 90 degree at the elbow, ball joints at the wrist, swiveling there, legs swiveling there, and all of that. The chest parts are going to move in a little bit when you bring those arms forward. So that's the quick and dirty run through the articulation. Now let's talk about the weapons. We have the same axe, same Graze axe we've had a few times now, so nothing new with that. And the same Graze rifle we've also had a few times, nothing new with that. Just take off the bottom part. It says to take off the sides as well, you really don't need to. And just slide this down in the hand, put this on there for extra security. But the new weapon that we have is this short rifle. So basically, it's just this without the long barrel. So there it is, and it's going to work just like before. We have this secondary handle, which moves. It's going to pop down into the hand. Use this piece to connect it, and there we go, secure in the hand. You're good to go. So we do also have a few extra pieces though, so I just want to go over some of these with you. We have the original Graze back skirt, which you could use if you want, as well as the connection piece for the thrusters. So if you had the extra set maybe from the Graze, you could attach those here onto this one if you want, I suppose, if using this back skirt piece, or mix and match, put it on whatever you want. You have the Graze Kai's, the top of just the regular Graze Kai 1 head, with just the short little fin in the back. If you didn't like the look of that really super long one, you could either cut that off or just use this one. And then we have the Graze Kai's shoulder armor here. So that's pretty cool. Again, it's now in pink, but this would be cool if you wanted to put this on a different kit. I think we'd have to do a little bit of part swapping maybe, but anyway, it is almost complete. You could definitely use that for something. And then again, we have these connection pieces for connecting the knee armors, the knee to the long-range booster. If you saw in the unboxing, I mentioned I thought it was rather strange that they now gave us this piece again, actually, because included with the long-range booster, we already had this piece. The exact same piece, but in gray. So they gave it to you with this kit so you could have it now in pink. For some reason, it's a really negligible thing for Bandai to put in there. It's kind of cool that they included it, I guess, but really, really unnecessary. So I don't know. I pointed that out in the unboxing because I thought it's strange because, there's sometimes with kits, there's things that we wish Bandai would have included, like one extra piece, two extra pieces, something like that would have been nice to have with the kit, but was not included. That happens pretty often, but with this kit, to get an extra part like this that we really didn't need at all because we had these, I don't know, it's just weird. So that's just one thing. It's not really a complaint, just something to point out. So here's a look at all 4 Graze variants we have so far, starting with the original standard commander type there, the McGillis Schwab Graze, the Graze Kai 1, then followed by the new Graze Kai 2. And just want to say this, that I think it's rather weird now that we're at the point that we are in the series. Spoiler alert, in case you haven't been watching it, it's not really too much of a spoiler, but McGillis' Schwab Graze had a very brief appearance in the anime. It really hasn't seen a whole lot of screen time. On the other hand, Gaelio's purple Schwab Graze has been in the show quite a bit because it's now being used by his kind of first mate, Ayin, I believe his name was, if I remember correctly. So it's kind of curious why Bandai made McGillis' Schwab Graze, the blue one, the regular release kit, and the purple one, the P-Bandai kit. I think it would have made sense to be more the other way around. I kind of wonder, though, if maybe Bandai's reasoning for that was because they were a little bit more nervous about the sales of a purple kit. They figure, not a lot of maybe kids, especially young boys, who are going to be like probably the main market for Gunpla in Japan, especially for these kind of kits. They're probably going to prefer a blue kit rather than a purple one, so I have to imagine that was probably part of Bandai's reasoning in that case, because the blue Schwab Graze really has only seen a fraction of the screen time that the purple one has. So anyway, that's all I have to say about that. So of course, the question you have to ask yourself is, do you want to dual wield? And of course, the answer is yes. I mean, you have 2 rifles, why not dual wield them? Personally, I'm not really too much of a fan of Gundams dual wielding anything. There are some rare cases like full armor Gundams things like that. But in general, I usually don't particularly like it. I usually like either the left hand to either be shield or not really too much. But that's just all personal taste. But the point is that you will notice, although it's probably going to be very hard to notice on camera because it's very slight. The two rifles are slightly different colored though, because the one rifle is in the same color as the inner frame. The short rifle is a slightly different color gray, but that is pretty much negligible. One thing that I think would be worth doing is on the short rifle, the barrel is not actually a hole there, which is kind of odd. It's just a flat circle piece. So if you have a small drill, just drilling out the barrel on that I think is going to look a lot better. Maybe I'll have to add that to my to-do list for the Gunpla quick fixes that I'm planning on doing. Again, those will be starting soon. Don't worry guys, I know I keep talking about that I want to do those. I'll add this to the list, drilling out the barrel for this kit. Now it's great that we have that sticker there for the eyes, but the question is, how easy is that going to be to paint that eye on there without using the sticker? Now, really, I don't think it'd be too hard, especially for people who are experienced with painting. However, for people who are maybe not that experienced and maybe don't have the skill that it would take to either to make that, I don't know, there's a lot of different ways that you could do that, I guess, either by doing masking or doing it by hand. If your hand is steady enough, you could do that, paint that by hand. Alternatively, you could cut the sticker. You could cut out the sticker because as it is, it's just like one sticker that includes the tooth and the eye on there. You could just cut those out to get rid of the red in between, because that's what you'd have to worry about matching. Or make your own waterslide decals, turn it into a waterslide decal with the eye and the tooth on there. A lot of different options that you could do, but yeah, that's just something that you will have to consider if you're going to be painting this, either to match that red color exactly or figure out some other way to paint the eyes on there. So to wrap this up, I will just go back for a second and say that there are a few complaints that I have just about the HG Graze in general. They've been things that have been in common with all of the HG Graze kits, is that they have a seam line here on the legs is pretty much the only real seam line you really have to worry too much about, and it's really not much of a bad one at all, so not much to complain about there, but just want to point that out to you guys. Also, it is going to have seam lines on the top of the shoulders as well, but those are also usual for an HG and very easy to fix in this case, so nothing to complain about there either. Also, with the HG Graze, like the other HG kits in the Iron-Blooded Orphans line, with very few exceptions, we only have the just open hands, or no, sorry, we only have the holding hands, no choice for open hands or closed fists or anything else. So as of yet, we haven't got any option sets. We have the option part sets, but none of those have included any extra hands. Considering there's so many different versions of the Graze, it would be nice at some point if Bandai would release some set of hands for the Graze, because those would be able to be used on a lot of different kits, a lot of different Graze kits. That would be nice. I don't really think that's going to actually happen, but it could, and it'd be nice if it did, but I'm not expecting it. So those are just a few little minor complaints about the kit. Like I said, the only really part that's loose at all is the head a little bit, and that's really not much of a big deal. Any painting you're going to have to do on this kit is pretty minimal. Like, most of those stickers are all really easy color apps to paint, so painting shouldn't really be too bad of an issue for this kit for you guys. So that's pretty much it. If you have any other questions or comments, leave those down below. Thanks for watching this review of the 4th HG Graze kit. We've got another one, the blue one, coming up again next month, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.